Hello, welcome to episode 47 of our Ostriv Alpha 4 Let's Play. It is December of 1766 in our town. Last episode, we placed a whole bunch of stuff in an exciting new area over here on the eastern side of the map. We have a farm, we have a market with granaries, and we have 4 houses, as well as provisions for several more. Of course, no one's really working here yet because there's not enough people to support stuff over here. But there will be soon when these houses are finally built and good to go. As far as the rest of the town goes, things are looking pretty good. Not too many complaints. We seem to be having a pretty good experience over here for our townspeople. I did turn off the annoying info overlays, so if we turn problems back on, we do still have some food issues, but nothing that can't be fixed. So we'll go ahead and just turn those right back off. It's a much cleaner viewing experience that way. So as they're constructing here, let's take a moment and check out our cemetery, because people are dying at an alarming rate, which means we're going to need additional burial plots. So that's a good thing to occupy our time real quick. Just nice and easy. These grave plots do tend to kind of lag if you're placing a bunch of them, which is strange. I don't know that I'd necessarily call it a bug, but it's one of those interesting quirks and features of a game here. And I have disabled autosave because I've been having a ton of problems with it. Finally took the steps to disable it. So we're going to have to be vigilant about actually saving the game. If I can place this correctly. Alright, so that ought to hold us down for a little bit. We are going to, yeah, so you can see that one's corrupted already. Yep. Just hit save right there. Cool. And they are constructing houses over here. Slowly. And these are mostly, probably for a little while, going to be children of other people living in the village. Look at this guy. 94 years old and he's still working. I don't know if that's impressive or terrifying. But now we just have this one right here. Has to get built up. Then these 4 right here will get built, and then we'll think about what we're going to be doing next. Probably going to be building a bridge right around here. And then filling in a little more area here. And now, since we have these 4 fields right here, we can go ahead and add one more up here. Just kind of roughly in line with stuff. Won't be perfectly square, but that's fine. About how long can we get here? Alright, so we'll move this down like so. Okay, and it's not beautiful, but it will work. We'll go ahead and set this to, bet you can't guess, potato and buckwheat. That's right. Now let's examine where these are going to be for next season. We're going to have buckwheat and buckwheat. That's not supposed to happen. Well, we'll go ahead and advance that one to potato, and then we'll put this one on that buckwheat. And then, of course, a fallow right there. So that'll be nice to have that. And hopefully, we'll get these built sooner rather than later. Someone did leave a comment reminding me that I need to have wells so my people can drink, and that is something I 100% overlooked. So we'll go ahead and make sure they don't die of thirst. Put a couple wells right there. Go ahead and move those to the front of the queue, since those are a very important thing. Yeah, stuff is kind of slow over here. The closest construction office, I believe. Did I build one here? I did, it's right there. Okay, well, it should still be reasonably faster. Now, since we have a granary right here, I am going to go ahead and put in a chicken coop. Maybe 2 of them, depending on how I can get it to line up here. If I can put one right there, I think I can go ahead and put another one. No, that's not going to line up nice. So we'll just leave that right there. That'll be fine. And then we can put a cart parking right here like so. Kind of fence off a little area here. So we'll move these to right behind here so we can have chickens start to supply for these granaries right here. That'll be looking quite nice. As you can see, we're kind of barren on some of our food. Not so much up here, but as we get further away from the center of town, our supplies do tend to dwindle. So we will have to keep an eye on things as they progress. And I don't know why they're not building these wells. They should be relatively quickly coming in here. Okay, so he's actually unloading wood. It said all the material had been collected, but there wasn't anything on the ground, which is strange. That is the bad thing about not having any people really living over here, is that when they're doing construction jobs, if they want to rest or go home, they have to go often super far across the map. And it can take a whole long time to build stuff like this if there's not stuff already prepared for it. And which reminds me, we could stand to have another hay barrack over here. Well, they actually haven't even built the first one. Why is this at the end? That should be near the very front, I would think. Okay, now as far as market stalls go, we are selling some stuff. It's just not exactly fast. We'll go ahead and turn off production because the farm is going to demand a lot of water. We do need to build a platform over here for the farm and the chickens, so we'll go ahead and plop that down right about there. And there is enough room for people to walk under this bridge, which is always fun to watch. So we'll see how that ends up. Now, before planting season starts, I do want to double check these farms right here and check that nothing is really super out of the ordinary. Okay, see these two wheat fields are on the same phase for some reason. Go ahead and bump one of those to the next one, and then this one to fallow. Sometimes they get out of sync, and I don't really understand why. It just kind of happens. So I'm glad I checked. These two are fine. These two are on the same one. So go ahead and bump that to fallow. And these three are fine. So that's good. And the one up here. If these get out of sync, it can be absolute murder on your economy here. Okay, these are looking okay. Then last but not least, these up here. Yeah, that'll do. It's not perfect, but it'll be fine. And before we forget, we'll go ahead and save again. There we go. Don't have to worry about autosave corrupting everything anymore. Now if it corrupts, it'll just be on the game's own merit and not autosave. So no passing blame off for that one. But now these three houses, soon to be four, have one well. And they'll have another one as soon as they decide to, actually build anything. But as we know, stuff can take time. Still waiting on the third plow for this farm. But how does this already have stuff in it? That's kind of suspicious there. Okay, and they are starting to supply this granary because on all my granaries I do have take from others turned on. I think I do at least. I should. Which helps spread some supply around. It's not perfect, but it is a substantial improvement over not having anything over here at all. It's weird that this one has, I guess, phantom crops in there. Is that just a virtue of flax? Maybe it is. But for now we have our second well constructed. Turn off production for that. Hay barrack is complete. So of course we'll go to another one. Oh, we haven't turned on carters and wagons, so that is actually a very useful thing to be turning on there. Alright, so again we have these dumb little white lines. That's weird. But now we can build our chicken coop right here. And we'll make sure that the platform is the next thing after that. Family's moving out. Is this firewood again? Yes, it's firewood because there is no forestry over here. So I guess we should probably build a forestry. I wanted to try and avoid chopping down a lot of these trees, but the growing takes a really, really long time. And unfortunately, it's not super realistic to not rely on that, so we'll pop the forestry in there as well. I know we're doing all sorts of stuff. So these guys, of course, always have lots of good stuff to offer and also purchase, so we'll go ahead and sell them 2,000 sunflower oil. Sallow, for some reason we are stocking as an export, but that's a good thing for us to get money, I suppose. Raspberries. Might take the raspberries and the onions out so our people can actually eat them. But for now, it's a quick way to make a little bit of money. 580 clothing as well. And I'm going to go ahead and buy dried fish and honey from these people just so we can have a little bit of stock for food. And before I forget, we're going to take away selling raspberry and onions. So when they come and get this, this will be the last that they actually have in stock ready to go, assuming that me doing this doesn't cause it to be emptied as soon as the people have a chance to, and it looks like that's exactly what they're doing, which is not ideal because then the trade deal is going to be canceled. So let's hope that's not the case. It probably will end up being the case, so I guess I stepped into that one. But nobody's perfect. It's certainly not me playing this game being perfect. Lots of mistakes, but that's the fun of, I think, that's the fun of how I choose to play the game. Warts and all, you get the authentic experience, including me being a boneheaded idiot a lot of the time. I actually haven't really spent that much time playing this game not recording. I have in Steam somewhere over 100 hours in the game, and then before Steam I'd played the, I think it was Alpha 2 on just a standalone for probably about 100 hours as well. And you've gotten to see most of my growing pains in this game. Well, not live, because it's not a live stream, but you've gotten to see most of my growing pains as I'm learning, which some people like, some people don't like. Okay, more firewood. Yeah, we're really going to have to get on that firewood thing. But our chicken coop is complete. So we'll go ahead and get everything set up, go to another chicken coop and copy all of our settings. And as soon as we have stuff ready to go here, we can bring our chickens in. And then stuff is going to go so much better for everybody here. And we've got our farm is all set up, ready to go. They are constructing the forestry, theoretically, next. So that'll be good fun to see that get done, and then hopefully we can have some more firewood for sale here. But while we're looking here, check our economic settings. Yeah, see, okay, well we're in the black for the year. But I guess because of our import and some of those exports not going through, it is slightly off balance. But if you take the imports and exports away, it's actually slightly positive, which is good. And this is about where we want our wealth distribution to be, because these people between 40 and 100 coins will eventually go over 100, and that's when our wealth tax kicks in. All right, so they're getting the food. They're almost done. So we can actually go ahead and start the process of kind of relocating some of these guys here. We have a lot of chicken coops. That's what I've noticed. Probably have about 400 or 500 chickens at this point. We can actually check. 540 chicks. That's a lot. That is a ton of chickens, and we're just going to keep getting more. Although there's no buckwheat yet, so hopefully this guy's not delivering chickens. Good. Okay, there's the buckwheat. Good. I was really worried we were going to immediately have all of our chickens killed. So they should be coming over pretty soon. Someone should be bringing those in. I would think so. I guess they're still bringing those over. Usually it's pretty quick. There we go. And now they are happily munching and doing their thing. And we have messenger here as well. Sell our normal sunflower oil. Won't mess with clothing quite yet. But in the interest of preservation, we're going to go ahead and purchase some iron. Going to go ahead and purchase buckwheat as well. Honey, we have tons of. And our forestry is halfway done here. So we're reaching the point now where a lot of people are dying, and it's a good thing we added these right here because we are almost out of our original plots right there. You know, we've committed sacrilege. Sorry to say, there are no birch trees in this little avenue right here. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do a quick save. And then we'll get right back to work with our all-time favorite pastime in Ostriv, and that is placing birch trees. Though, of course, I'm sure you all knew that already. Just get these things nice in here. They don't necessarily have to be completely lined up. But that's part of the fun, isn't it? And of course our forestry people will have to actually, you know, do their job. But that's just the way things go sometimes. You gotta do stuff you don't want to do. Too close to trees. I know. I know. It's gonna be fine. This is a reminder that I do have another Let's Play series on a game called Dawn of Man, which is a prehistoric city builder and survival simulator type game. It's a lot of fun. It's a bit different from Ostriv, and the game is certainly not as optimized or well written, but it is a kind of refreshing departure from this, so make sure you go check that out. There's a link to a playlist on my channel page. And I am currently thinking of games I want to play when I finish Dawn of Man. We will go back to it and address it with the Season 2, but we aren't going to jump right into that. Want to give it time to ruminate a little bit. And a lot of you have suggested stuff like Anno 1800. I've got a couple of requests from people that are not in the comments for things like SimCity as well, Cities Skylines, different things like that. And there's a couple other fun games that people have suggested we might take a look at. But we'll see exactly what I'm able to do and what I think will fit my style of play and what you guys might want to see. And we'll see what happens as we get there. If there is a major Ostriv update, of course, like a new alpha or a patch significant with new features like sheep or something like that, we will probably play most of that for the time being. And I'm also going to be start live streaming on Twitch.tv soon. Not exactly super quick, but we're going to get there. Hope you will join me for that as well. Should be a lot of fun over there. But we are just about done with some birch tree planting right here. It's not going to let me plant anything else there. That's fine. Those will be a-okay when they grow in. And in the meantime, we've had a lot of work done over here. These chickens are thriving. We can order some carts right here. And our granaries should be slightly, okay, well, not really, slightly more flush with food. We're not quite there yet. So let's go back to our forestries here. And set this to do mostly firewood. And it's going to take a while for us to be fully operational down here because there's not enough jobs, really, not enough people to work those jobs. So we'll see how long it takes for that to get up and running. Maybe not fully in this episode. I think this is mostly a infrastructure development episode. Not too much super exciting stuff happening, but every little bit of gameplay is important because that gets us ever so closer to the fun stuff like watching the population skyrocket and having supply lines and production chains fully automated and looking fantastic. Yeah, they'll build that house. We'll probably get those finished before the end of the episode. Now, let's see. We did take away our onions and our raspberries. Looks like those have been returned to the people. Let's make sure we're not exporting. Oh, we actually are. Well, we're gonna not do that. We're gonna get rid of the raspberries. And we're gonna try and get our people to actually sell them to the granaries like they should be. Alright, so we've got these 4 houses that should be relatively quickly built. We can try to go ahead and match over here with some as well. Now this is going to be kind of an interesting thing here because these houses are going to be set up against these farm fences, and I know for a fact these are not straight and level. So it's going to be us and our best friends, the F1 key. Getting these things lined up and good to go here. I know it's not going to be perfect, but I would like it to be at least somewhat correct. Go ahead and rotate right there. Get that magnetized to there. Pull this down here. Again, it's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect, right? We're just having fun playing a chill game of Ostriv right here. If you expect perfection every time, you're just going to be disappointed. That's a little bit of free life advice for you youngins out there. Sometimes done or good enough is better than perfect. Done is better than good enough. At least with things that don't really matter, like video games. All right, now these people, let's see, we're going to have to buy iron. We never have enough iron. Never, ever, ever, ever have enough of that. We're never selling metal parts because we never have enough in the first place, so why even bother? Like the rest of this, we're not really selling too much here. I think we did get a little wider on the bottom end of this, but that's not necessarily a terrible thing. We are going to go ahead, though, while we're over here, and make provisions for another bridge. Kind of like so. And that should connect nicely between these houses right here, and then up here where we will be able to fit another house up against the wall. But not quite yet because, nope, not quite yet because we don't have any markets up here. But that will pave the way for that and also allow people to take a shortcut up here instead of going all the way down here like so. Yeah, so we are progressing quite nicely. We do have 2 men working this forestry right here, and they are busy at work making sure everything is supplied appropriately. Let's turn our warning problems back on. Okay, so we still have a little bit of a food problem, but that will get fixed in time. And we are nearing the end of our time for today's episode. We just have a couple months left. I would like to get these last 2 in this initial thing built, as well as the gazebo in our market area. We will see if that is going to be the case. Let's check on our sales here. Yeah, so things are being purchased. Looks like everything's going reasonably well. Not incredibly fantastic, but we'll get there. Harvesting is commencing, of course. Things are looking good over here. And our trees are being chopped, so that's looking good as well. Yeah, stuff is looking fantastic. Our smithies are regrettably functioning normally. Only making 1 or 2 metal parts a year, it seems like. We have so many chickens. I can't believe it. An unbelievable amount of chickens. And that will be supplying us with some eggs and chicken meat as soon as we've reached that. Have a couple carts down here. Stuff's looking good for that. Yeah, we're looking very good, and we're almost at 950 residents. These last 2 houses right here should get us to 950. These will get us a little closer to 1,000. But I think next episode, is that going to be 48? I think it's 48 next episode. Counting is hard. That could be the one where we hit 1,000, or it could take us another couple and we might get there by the golden number 50. But we will see how that pans out. A little bit slower pace than the last one, of course. As I've said many times before, this is a much more optimized and nuanced build. Plus we have some fun new features over our Ostriv 3 town. Although I did enjoy building that, it was a lot of fun. I think this is a huge improvement, and I hope you agree. Now we also have the ability, because we have another farm with fallow fields and all that, to have a cow shed over here. But I'm not sure I want to put too many more cows in before I can get handle on labor for all of these hay barracks and everything. That tends to be kind of an annoying thing to deal with the larger your town gets. So if you keep your population of animals that require hay to live relatively small, then it usually ends up being a better policy. And of course, pigs. Pretty useless. They just breed, and sometimes you get stuff from them. Actually, that being said, let's go ahead and get sallow out of our trading dock, because we don't need to be selling it, we need to be feeding it to our people. And if we ever get any more, then we can have that set up the right way. But I am going to go ahead and increase our pig limit just a little bit, so we can have a little bit more, because none of them will be slaughtered until they get to at least a year old automatically, although I can manually do it. This will allow us to have a lot more at one time. These people are... Oh, so they already got replaced, so I guess we won't know. Although I can imagine it's probably firewood, if I had to guess. And we're actually kind of hurting for farm labor, it looks like, down here in that corner at least. Oh, these farms are already done. So it's just this one field right here, harvesting flax. So that's going to be... Well, they should be able to get it done before the end of November, which is when everything disappears, of course. I am pretty satisfied with our progress in this episode. We got a lot of stuff lined up and fleshed this area out a little bit more. The annoying white lines, of course, are what they are. But, you know, stuff happens. Sometimes you just kind of have to deal with it. So let's go ahead and get a nice screenshot for today's episode. I think we could do with some people picking the flax in the field. If anybody ever played RuneScape over in Sears Village when everyone is picking flax. Flashbacks to that one. Not my favorite part of the game, but it's a fun time. Used to play that a lot as a kid. Alright, so we've got a nice screenshot for our cover for this episode. And we're going to watch things wind down just a little bit here as we approach the end. Hopefully we can get these 2 houses built right here before the end of November. And this one is just about done. Just awaiting a few final things. I always love to watch them build houses. It's great fun. Yeah, just a little bit more. You're not buying food, you're standing right there. Oh, glitches again. So they should be just about finished here. Just have a few more beams to put in and some thatch for the roof, and then it'll be all fine and dandy, good to go. Hey, these people just keep dying of old age. Stop it. They've got bees. And they've got bees. Come on, hurry up and finish. I've got an episode to end. There you go. See, it's not too hard. You can do it. Now we're cooking. Let's get those last few in there and we can send these people on their way. There we go. That's the end of that, and that's going to be the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss anything. Leave the video a like and leave a comment letting me know what you think. If you have any ideas for other games to play that haven't already been suggested, or if you just want to say hi, I like that too. I appreciate you joining in our video comment sections and being a part of the community. Even if you don't comment, thanks for watching. I genuinely appreciate you, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.